Hello. I thought I would take a few minutes and show you a quick day's work on Handmade Destiny. If you've been following the blog, you saw that my PC blew up and I haven't had a chance to get back into the code I was working on, but I just got the development environment back up and running and so I can start coding again. But I thought before I do that, I would show you a little bit of what I was working on last week. And as you may also know if you've been following the blog, I ended up starting my rebuild from the ground up because I decided on to make some changes to how I was approaching and how I was developing to make it easier. And I hope by posting some videos over the next few weeks, you'll see exactly how that works, as well as some live demos. Now, anyone who saw the interface demo that I had up on the site or linked from the site last week realizes, I hope, that that was just static HTML with CSS. There was nothing special going on there. It was not going against the database. It was not being driven by code on the site. It was just me playing with the interface and thinking people might want to see how things work. When you look at the site now, you're actually seeing something that's live and being run from the web server on my local computer. And some things are what we've called stubbed. So for instance, when you see me editing a category as I add a business, while there are bits of functionality that will actually populate a drop down for someone to select the categories that their business can belong to. In this case, I'm just typing it in because I didn't want to have to go through and link all that code up until I've tested it with the new way I'm developing things. Anyway, all that said, I'm just going to walk you through some stuff really quick. I have yet to decide what the front page of the Handmade Destiny directory service should look like. So right now I'm just having it pull up all the categories in the list. As you can see here, there is currently only one business. Having to rebuild my database, I've only put that in so far. I used to have a lot more, but we'll see what happens. And right now, Butterfly Bay Designs is listed under the apparel category, so if I click on that, you'll see this is changed to apparel. If I go back to all categories, it's there because it's the only one in there. If you go to the left, we've got the same accordion. I've decided not to multicolor the accordion because it actually became very distracting once I tried implementing that. So I stopped playing around with the theme overall. I've got to come back and design a consistent theme for the site. Right now I'm just worried about functionality, but right now in venues I haven't implemented tools list yet, so there's nothing there. And same for tool for buyers. I haven't actually implemented anything there yet. However, categories is there, and if we go ahead and log in as Butterfly Bay Design, which I will do right now, we will be able to see a little change. If you notice now, we've had tools for sellers and account management pop up on the left. That's because Butterfly Bay Design is listed in the system as a seller. And so we get these two extra things: tools for sellers, which is to manage the business listings, and account management, which any logged in member has. Change password, eventually you're managing your profile and favorites and all that will also fall under here. But if we go back to tools for sellers, you can see that Butterfly Bay Designs currently only has one business listed, which you can have as many businesses as you want under your account, under your username, and each one has its own details and can be edited and so on. You'll see there's a slight interface glitch there. I'm trying to get navigation to stay consistent. Anyway, we can go back to that list and see everything here. Now, one of the things that I've currently set this up for is to try and ensure that things work when you even get down to an 800 by 600 size. I'm hoping there's nobody that's running that small yet on a laptop or a desktop. I know I'm going to have to make some changes for the phone community and things like iPads, but for now I'm just focused on laptops and PCs. So we'll put this back to 1024 by 768. I've got a little style issue here to correct, but let's say I want to add a new business. Now remember, there's a stub in here for category, and I'll show that. So let's say I want to go in here and I want to put in imperfect dichotomy, which is my old t-shirt shop that is now defunct. I can actually go in here and say my description. And in this case for the stub, it can also go into apparel. So we'll do that. Now if I were to actually mistype apparel, it would show up in a new spot. Now I'm not going to upload a logo for imperfect dichotomy at the moment. I could, but I'm not going to. I just want to show you what happens. So we create it. It takes you back to the details so you can see how the things lay out. When there's no image, it puts up the alt text for what would be the image. Now I want to do some things to make certain people understand that's what's going on. This is not the friendliest user interface at this point. Again, it's just showing functionality. Again, I can go back and I can edit things if I want. So let's say I just want this to be a cool t-shirt shop. I can say that now it's a cool t-shirt shop, and if we go to apparel, look, imperfect dichotomy is now there because there are no ratings tied to it yet. The stars show up gray, and so on. So let's log off of Butterfly Bay Design for a moment. And you'll see again that on the left side we've lost our tools for sellers and our account management. Let's register really quick as mindless pursuits. And let's keep that mindlesspursuits.com. Quick password. And we register. Now when this is actually wired on a server on the internet, it will email you so you confirm your email address before it actually activates your account, because this is running on my local PC and I didn't feel like emailing myself constantly while I'm testing. I have that turned off at the moment. But now you can see I'm in there. I still have a view of everything. I can still go through the categories, all the stuff you would expect. If I go to tools for sellers and manage business listings, you'll see that I can create a new business now. I just realized that it carried over something. I found a little bug there that wasn't there. I must have introduced that when I upgraded the database today. Anyway, we will go in and put in mindless pursuits as a business now. And we're actually going to put this in original art, even though mindless pursuits was more apparel than art. Fanciful. There we go. And we're going to say that this is in the art category. And we'll go ahead and create that. And you'll see that automatically art was added to the side. So if we click on art, we can go to the detail. Again, there are no reviews or anything yet, so it's not there. If we go to all categories, it shows up. We can go back in to manage business listings and we can edit this. And we will add the logo quick. So you save the logo and it goes there. And what this actually does is it assigns a unique ID to the image when it saves it up on the server, and that way you never have to worry about someone having an image with the same name, or if you need to upload some variations and you've just changed the name on your computer, you're not going to have any conflicts. So that works well. If we go back to our category view, again, now we've got our logos and so on. One of the things I'm not certain about, I coded it this way for now because I thought white space would look bad, but if you see this imperfect dichotomy here without the logo, I shifted everything at the top over to the left so I wouldn't have a big gap from a missing logo. I'm not certain if that looks good or not, or if it breaks iFlow too much. So I'd be interested in hearing some feedback. Now let's say that Mindless Pursuits wants to add another listing. And we'll go with Bob's Bait. Bob makes the finest fishing tackle ever. It's all handmade, of course. Unfortunately, Bob never actually catches any fish because he doesn't use hooks. But but that's okay because that way he's not hurting our fishy friends. But so we put that in. Bob is in the fishing category. So we create that. And again, if we go back to all of our results, we can see all of our results there. We can go to the next page. Right now I have the page size set to 3 for testing. It'll actually be configurable in the user profile when everything is done. So all that's done. And let's say we've realized that, Bob's bait is a really bad idea. And I'm not entirely certain why this is breaking down like this. I'll take a look at that. But let's say we're going to get rid of Bob. Now we can go in and we have to confirm whether we want to delete this or not. And I'm debating if I want to have a pop-up box here of some sort that says, "Are you sure?" Or if I'm just going to put some very red text here that says, if you delete this, you delete everything associated with it, from this business summary to any attached reviews to any locations you input, the whole works. But for now, if you just say confirm delete, you'll see Bob's Bait was deleted. You're back to your list of businesses. And if you go back to categories, we're back to having one page because Bob's Bait is gone. And of course, I could show you change password, but I think that's pretty obvious. So this was a day's work. Literally, this took me about 6 hours to code. A lot of that was actually spent playing with the database. But I think it shows how much can get done in a very short period of time. And now that I've got this framework set up that I'm working with to get everything set, I should be able to make fairly quick progress and maybe even get back on course to have a launch in early July. That's my hope. But I thought I would share this little glimpse really quick just so that people can see what's going on and the fact that things are happening. And I welcome any and all feedback, any questions. This is, as I've talked about before, my gift to the community. So to make it as good as I possibly can, the best thing for the community, I'd really love to hear from you, even if you think it's going to be something negative. I'd prefer not to hear "that sucks," I guess. I'd like to hear something like, I don't like the color scheme, you should use this. Or I don't like the way the sidebar works, you should use something else. But I welcome the feedback. Oh, one last thing I'll show you really quick, which will be saved to your profile, is this, which is, let's say that you're logged in and you're a seller and you would rather use the seller tools more often than you ever go look at the categories. You can actually drag that right on up and have access to all your seller tools at the top, and it will save this in your profile automatically. And that way you won't have to keep moving down. You'll always have it there. Same with account management. If you want to have that up there, you can, and so on. That's it. Thank you very much if you walked through the 13 minutes this took, and take care. Bye-bye.